Right, welcome back to another video, an S3 video. So we're gonna just crack straight on. We're gonna get the car on the ramp and we're gonna start fixing this accident damage. So yeah, let's get moving. Right, just gonna try and beat this. Try and get this this line here back. Yeah, here we go. Okay. Moved a lot easier than I expected it to. No wonder it bent in so easily. Oh, it's all right. So, just got to get this pulled out now. These pulled out. Probably going to weld that up first. Then pull it, and then should be all right. Fingers crossed. This isn't anywhere near as bad as it looked. All this centerpiece is popped out. So I've just cleaned up here and these sections here where I'm going to attach the weldable dent puller, attach some rods here and pull this out. Yeah, it's actually, yeah, it's looking pretty good. And obviously we still got the damage in the door to sort out here, but yeah, and there. But yeah, apart from that, I mean, it doesn't actually look that bad now. Definitely not a category S. This is as good as that's getting. The metal is so tight, you just cannot pull it. It will not pull flat. So what we don't want to do is create high spots. So I've had to tap a few of these down, so when we skim it with a filler, there's no metal, high spots in the metal, so we get a nice smooth finish on that. Straightness, it's not bad. Needs a little tweak here still, but as for the panels, now the main dents have been popped, it's sort of pulled the rest of it in. This one here as well, just sort of pulled this with the weld-on dent puller. Now this, as you can see here, I've just adjusted the door. So the door now sits perfectly, but you've got this gap here. So obviously this section here, it's obviously, you can see, if you look here, look how wide it is, and then how thin it gets here. So we're gonna have to build that up. We've got no choice really. Can't pull it because it's so weak here. So we're just gonna have to build that up with filler, which isn't ideal, but it's the only way we're gonna do it. I mean, you could braze it, put a bit more metal in there, but it's just a waste of time, really. I mean, it's not going to hurt. It's not massively deep. We're talking a couple of mil, but in an ideal world, we would work with that until it meets the door. But that's the way it is. But yeah, as for the rest of it, I mean, yeah, it's looking all right. I mean, a little bit of filler here, and here, and then that's it. Crease there, but yeah, I mean, like I say, category S. Right, so we're nearly there. This has been quite a challenge. Way more. It's always the ones where you think, oh, it's not going to be that bad, that are really bad. There's hardly any filler in this. It's just to get this swage line back here. Just want to get that edge back in, which I have managed now, but it's only got a little bit of filler in there. Just got to deal with this high spot now. Yeah, I look like Pablo Escobar. But yeah, we got there in the end. So that just needs a little bit more work, just around that swage line, and just sort of, like I say, sorting out this high spot. And then it's ready to be painted. Yeah, this door's not going to need too much work, and neither's this really. You still see there's a little low spot there, but once that's all flatted back, that's gonna be lovely. So here we are. After how bad it looked, this is all that's left. So we've got a couple of little spots of filler there, and then just the arch that's been rebuilt, which, I mean, like I say, there's not much filler in there at all. It's this is something called dolphin glaze, like a finishing putty. So but yeah, this is it. So we're going to mask it up and we're going to get all this primed up. The paint's not here yet, so we'll have to wait for that. But yeah, we're going to get it masked up and get the primer on. Right, so here's the masking. This is just rough masking for primer. So just cover the wheel, a bit of back masking here. So this is where you mask that way, you fold the paper over, it leaves a soft edge just so there's not a hard edge to sand out afterwards. You want everything as smooth as possible. You don't want to be rubbing too much in an area. Say you've got like a hard edge, so you tape down and paint up to that line, you're gonna have a hard edge when you take it away. And you're gonna have to rub that hard edge, and then chances are you're gonna create a ripple. So this is the way we do it. Soft edge there, we'll try and stay away from that corner, but we've got to blow around here anyway to cover all this up. Just roughly masked along here as well. I'm gonna be painting to this line, so I've taped just in front of the line, so when I sand the primer down, it doesn't leave any white on the edge, so I can just feather that off with silver. Yeah, that needs obviously painting in there as well, a bit of primer on that. And then I'm just gonna leave the door open probably when I paint it, just gonna cover this up. This is just roughly masked because it's all gonna get sanded back again. Yeah, so let's crack on, we'll get the primer on and see how it looks. Going to hit this with a little bit of guide coat now, so when we sand it back we can see where we've been and if there's any low spots, high spots, etc. I say guide coat, it's just matte black paint. Does the same thing. Anyway, give that a couple seconds to flash off and we can get the 320 out, I reckon. Start with that and then move up to 600. Right, just going to give you a little example of what this guide coat stuff does here. So, sanding it back. So, as you can see, the low spots you can still see because they're black. The high spots are starting to sand out. So, it just helps you know when the panel is ready. So obviously if you painted over this now, it'd look horrific. You want a nice smooth surface, so that's what we're doing. We're using the guide coat as a visual aid to get the panel nice and flat. He's ready for paint. Paint's coming tomorrow, so yeah, fast forward to tomorrow, let's get some silver on this. Right, it's now Friday. I have got the paint, I ain't got time to paint it. So we're gonna do it Monday instead. So on to Sunday. Right then, it's Sunday. I'm out in the van. A little bit different this, because normally I'm only doing stuff in the workshop. So apart from the ZX video. So yeah, I am on my way to Rownham Services to pick up a Miltech non-resonated system for the S3. The guy's actually in Portsmouth, but he's kindly offered to meet me at Rownham, so I don't have to go through that really annoying 50-mile-an-hour zone all the way from Rownham's to Southampton. So yeah, he's meeting me there. So I'm just on my way now. Only looks like about an hour to get there. Just put fuel in, and on the subject of fuel, I've just put some regular diesel in the van, £1.50 a litre. So I've just banged 30 quid's worth in and got 20 litres. So it's been a little while since I put diesel in this, so normally I'm just putting petrol. I've got all the other cars I've got are petrol. So yeah, a little bit expensive, but hopefully that'll be enough to get me there and back. Right, so let's hit the road. We're already on the road, but let's hit the road time-lapse style.
I've been feeling so small, Watch the clock ticking off the wall, but tonight I'm letting it go. Spend my coin for sure. I'm gonna be myself, or I could be someone else. No one's stopping me now. I'm gonna skip my breaks, I'm gonna make mistakes. I just wanna feel alive. It's just what I do when I'm out, so try not to hold me down.
So we just arrived. I'm at B&Q somewhere. I don't know where I am. Somewhere near Roundham Services. Is a spot we picked that was convenient for us both. But just pulled off. You want to see the state of this car park? Look at the state of it. Look, this is that's rubber bits everywhere. Someone's tyres all over the floor. Look at it. It's absolutely ruined. So we're just waiting for him. He's about 10 minutes away, so just gonna sit here and admire the burnt rubber. Look at the state of this. Look, someone's gone home with no tyres. I thought it was dirt when I pulled in, but it's actual rubber. Christ. Right, exhaust is all loaded up. Let's get back. It only took me about an hour to get here, so obviously we're on Portland. I've met him near Roundham Services. I don't actually know where I am. Like I say, I'm at a B&Q somewhere, but yeah, so about an hour to get home, so not too bad really. Hopefully this is the right way. So yeah, so we got a meal tech now. I've ordered a downpipe. It's obviously shut up. Right, so I've ordered a downpipe. I've ordered a Forge recirc valve, diverter valve to replace the plastic one that's leaking. So yeah, since the last video I did the first video on the S3, and I posted it on a bunch of S3 owners groups on Facebook, like muted it, it's still talking, basically saying, does anyone know the car, anyone got any information about it, because just intrigued to know about it. Some guy messaged, that's my car, so I said, give me a call, let's have a chat. So I had a chat with him. He didn't crash it on the track. Someone hit him in apparently a green Honda Civic, took a corner wide and then sideswiped him. Also, he's given me some information on the car. Turns out maybe it was a bit of a piece of shit when he bought it. So as we know, he bought it from a guy, Calvin's Car Diaries, or the Binker, whatever they're called, for 2,300 quid. And the poor bloke has had to spend £1,700 fixing it. So, I mean, there's too much to remember. He was just telling me everything that was wrong with the car, and it was a lot of stuff. Yeah, it was pretty much a wreck. So yeah, he is the one that's done, as in the last video, as you've seen me sort of going through all those receipts, that's all stuff that he's done. So he's serviced it, he's put a cam belt on it, bought a pump on it. He's also put a new clutch in it, fixed loads of issues. Yeah, so yeah, he spent a lot of money on it. So he's the reason why I have bought such a good car. So yeah, brilliant. So it is Sunday today. Tomorrow is obviously Monday, and I'm probably going to try and get the car in paint tomorrow. Before we jumped in here on Sunday, it was like Thursday when I got it in primer. But yeah, so it's ready to go. It just needs to be painted. So when we paint it, downpipe should be arriving by Thursday. So I reckon by the end of the week we should be able to take it out properly and give it a good test drive. Some guy sat in the middle lane and there's nothing in front. If you could see, there's nothing in front at all. I'm in the slow lane. For Christ's sake, there's two of them actually. There's a TT and a Honda FRV sat in the middle lane. Idiots. I'm trying. This poor van doesn't go over 60. This van hasn't been featured at all on the channel yet because I don't really do anything to it. It's already all done. I've finished it already before I started the YouTube channel. But yeah, it's a 2006 T5, but it's basically all T6 converted. So the only thing that's not T6 is the door cards and dash, steering wheel, everything else, all the outsides, all T6. But ever since I've had it, it has had an issue with literally no power. I had it put on the rolling road and it made 68 horsepower. So it made 68 brake horsepower. It was supposed to be a 102. Turns out after a bunch of investigation, we found the camshaft's worn. So the camshaft's just worn out, needs a new camshaft. Usually that's something that happens with the 2.5s, not so much with the 1.9s, but yeah, so he's worn out, got no power, so it's gonna be a slow old drive back to Portland. Anyway, that's enough of that. Don't want to bore you all. So let's fast forward to whatever we're gonna do next. Back at the workshop. See you back at the workshop. Bye.
Now my wheels in motion and my windows open with the wind blowing in my hair. I'm driving down the highway, gonna do this my way. I can feel it in the air. Here I
go. Right. So here we are, we're in paint now. I'm not recording me spraying because it's too much hassle. So I'm just, after each bit, I'm just gonna video it and yeah, show you what's what. So this is the paint. So this is water-based paint because it just lays so much nicer than solvent does. And it's, when you put the lacquer on, it's actually way nicer. It sits on the paint a lot better, sits on the base coat. So anyway, we're going to get on now. We're going to put some clear coat on this and finish it off. Right, so it's in lacquer, outside baking. We're using the sun to bake it because we don't have an oven. I'm not that rich. But yeah, so it's looking pretty good. So we've just got to wait for that to go off. Probably going to leave it 24 hours before I start sanding anything down, wet flatting, just to give it a chance to fully cure. So while it's out in the sunshine, we are whipping the door cards off to deal with this joyous crap. This is pretty standard for Volkswagen, Audi stuff. Yeah, actually all German stuff. It's this horrible crap. Yeah, just sort of the foam disintegrates and lets go. So we're gonna have to peel that off, rub all of that foam off, re-glue and then refit. But that's something that needs doing because it's going to annoy me. And we're also going to whip the interior out. So we're going to strip the interior to clean it, or to hoover it, to make sure it's properly clean, and to recondition these seats. So we're not actually going to repaint them because I think I want to retain the original finish and colour. We're just going to make them so they're not really shiny. This is just where people have got in and out over the years. It's shined all the seats up. So when they were new, they would have been slightly like matte. So, but yeah, we're going to do that. I'm going to whip these out and give it a good clean. Right, seats out this side, looking particularly filthy. So it gives us a good chance to clean out underneath the seat. And underneath the seat, it looks like someone's lost their marbles. Rubbing TFR into these now, which is traffic film remover. It's like an acid, not meant for seats, but because we're refinishing them, it doesn't matter. So this basically is going to remove any contaminants anything that's sort of shouldn't be there, and clear it off nicely before we key it up and put the new clear coat on these. So I'm just going to get scrubbing with that and see what we can bring up. I was going to make a whole video on these, like recolouring them, redoing them, but yeah, the TFR that we used, which is like an acid, has actually cleaned them up to the point where they're actually looking pretty original. I've gone over them with a detailer as well. I mean, I don't think they need doing. I'm thinking that they look pretty good. I mean, that's sort of how they would have looked ish. Maybe a little bit more matte, but I think I'm going to leave them like that. Yeah, so here's the back ones. Same kind of thing. They've come up perfectly. Yeah. It's really not worth me doing them. I mean, I'm not going to look much different to that. Never mind though, I have got a set of seats that I do need to refurb, which will be a bit of content for another time, out of a Gen 1 RX-7. But yeah, maybe we'll do the restore on those and do a video on them. So, as there's always a little surprise somewhere, isn't there? So this car has a little bit of a funky smell inside, I noticed. It has been sat for a few months. So I thought I'd just check the pollen filter and see what's going on with that. Oh, hello. And it looks like possibly a rat has been in here. So yeah, it looks like, you know, maybe there's a rat being in here at some point. I think we're gonna have to pull all that out and try and get to the fan, because it could be like droppings or like pee or something in there. It just smells a little bit Fausty. So yeah, fun. Let's go. So what we're doing here, we're just filling up the blowers full of this special foam. It's like anti-bloody bacteria foam stuff. Just put the fans on, blow it all in. It goes through all the ducting, cleans it all out. Yeah, it kills any bacteria. So we're just filling that up. It doesn't look like there's anything in there. It's just weird that filter looks like that, and there's not going to be anything inside the airbox itself. And here it is, finished. So it's all flatted back now and polished. There's a slight crease in the door here that I didn't want to have to deal with, because I didn't want to fill that and then I'd have to go too close to this edge and I'd have to paint the wing and start chasing it. So I got a dent guy that's going to come and just pop that out, and that's it really. The rest of it, it's all gone lovely, and it's actually come out really well. In door gap, it's all uniform. Yeah, pretty happy with that. I mean, it's not, I'm a bit fussy really. It's not like perfect. It's very difficult to get silver looking perfect without a booth and controlled environment, but it's just why I don't normally, well, I wouldn't take on a job like this. So if a customer came in with this, I would say no thanks, not interested. Silver, it's just a pain in the ass. But yeah, because I'm the customer, you know, I don't mind doing it. I wouldn't, yeah, I just don't feel happy giving cars back when I'm not, I myself am not 100% with them. But yeah, I'm happy with this. It's done the job. It's looking tidy, but if you'll follow me, well, of course you'll follow me, I'm holding the camera. Look at the state of that. So, it's just horrific. So someone's painted this quarter with a rattle can by the looks of it. So I'm gonna have to do this side as well, because I can't have, I mean, look at it. You can see how bad that is. It's like it's been painted with like an airbrush. The metallics are not laid evenly. It's just patchy. You can see the filler poking through where it's not been prepped properly. You've got lacquer peeling off the door where it's not been keyed up properly there and there. See that? There we go. All peeling off. Oh, so that's next on the list. However, the interior is looking pretty sharp now, apart from the door cards are off. Yeah, see back seats. It's all looking pretty good, and it's smelling good in here now. We've run that antibacterial thing through it. Just need to get a new pollen filter. Alright, so just doing a little update at the end of this video on the CRV, because apparently it's not worthy of its own content, its own video. People, yeah, by the looks of it, people don't really like this. But the camber arms are on. So the back needs a little bit of a tweak. It's got a bit too much camber on it at the moment. But yeah, it's brought the tyres in really nicely. Don't think we're going to go with arch extensions now, but yeah, it's looking all right. But yeah, not actually done anything else to this yet. I'm only going to do a few little extra bits to it. Nothing major. All the major stuff's been done, but maybe I'll just do red badges, a few other little bits and that, just to finish it off. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to do any more videos on this because it really didn't do well at all. Not compared to that thing. But yeah, so that's where the CRV's at. Right, that's it. Thanks for watching as usual. Seems everyone sort of enjoyed the last S3 video more than they did the CRV one. It's a bit of a shame really. The poor CRV does look all right, but yeah, obviously not everyone's cup of tea. Right, so in the next video, we're going to be dealing with the exhaust system, replacing the downpipe, replacing the diverter valve, and replacing the exhaust. Also, wheel refurb, and yeah, I think that's it for the minute until we start a few more mods. But don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, because the more likes it gets, the better it promotes the videos and other people can see them. So yeah, it'll be helping the sort of channel grow. So get on and do that, and I'll see you in the next one. 'Cause maybe it's not when the lights are on and there's no